Okay, well, thanks for joining us tonight, Reagan. We are super excited to have you. I'm so glad that her and I reconnected in Denver like a couple weeks ago. They are the most giving people. They gave their time, they took me out to dinner, like reached out, just so nice. It's great to have Juice Plus family. And I was like, oh man, I used to be in your life all the time, Reagan, when we were doing this certain program. And I was like, I've missed her and her business talk and her straight shooting. And I'm just so glad she said yes. She showed me when I was at her house where she is right now, her whiteboard, and just spouted out a bunch of stuff that I thought was really good. But I'm like, okay, you got to teach that because I need to learn it. And I'm sure you guys will all want to learn it based on Donald Miller, who was at our conference last time, which was one of our favorite speakers. So I know everybody's like, Donald Miller, Donald Miller, Donald Miller. Anyway, but Reagan is a wife and a mom. She's a presidential marketing director. Plus, she just got that very recently. So you know she's in the trenches. And also she's 100 Club. So listen closely, let's take notes, let's ask questions, and put in the chat, any questions or anything that you might have about speaking to people. Okay, so Reagan, you can do the rest of your intros and stuff. I didn't want to take too much away from you. And I just really, really appreciate you coming on. And, if you pause and you want us to ask questions, that's fine. We're very interactive on this. So.
So I like to have a discussion versus a presentation, if that's okay with you guys. That means
yes,
you actually have to unmute and talk to me. And there's not that many people on here, so that makes it easy to do that. So when Sharon asked me to kind of share with you what we've been doing with our team, I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely resonated with Donald Miller during the conference. And I actually took a course, which probably helped me get to national marketing director really quickly. That's not around anymore. And it actually cost me $12,000. So it was all around verbiage, and it totally paid me back in spades. And I use it all the time. So I love you guys' questions that you're putting in here. And I hope that you guys will speak up and ask them if I don't get to them during what I'm going to tell you. But what I did was I loved that Donald Miller was so relatable. I signed up for his course. I don't know if you guys saw that we had a link back then that allowed us to get a little bit of a discount. And I thought, gosh, you know what? It's kind of time to freshen it up, and something for me to, maybe it needs a little tweaking or whatever. And so what we did as a team is I took my team through, I think we did 8 weeks, okay, on what I'm going to share with you guys in a couple of really few minutes. Because I'm going to give you a big synopsis of the work that we did. And I will tell you that I'm going to share some slides with you. On probably almost every slide, we spent an hour. So I'm going to give you a little shortcut with that. But I would encourage you, if you liked Donald Miller or you're looking for, I see some of you are looking for a way to kind of, how do you bring up Juice Plus, things like that. His course, you guys, is not that expensive. It's a couple $100s for the year. And it's not just the course on how to talk to people. There's how to be a business leader. There's daily tips. There's the Enneagram. There's all kinds of great things that you have access to for that couple $100 for the year. And I would just say, go do it, and then take that information and go do your team calls with it, because that's what we did. And so how many of you, before I share my screen, how many of you guys, I know some of you already said this, but how many of you guys have a hard time going, what do I say about Juice Plus? These are all no cameras. Gotta see your cameras. Anybody besides me? Maybe get nervous.
You guys can raise your hands, put it in the chat.
Okay.
I think everybody probably does. So for you to give us some good things.
So
great.
My hope is that I can kind of give you, we're going to do, you'll see something that's a little familiar. Let me share this keynote and you guys can tell me if you can see this. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Okay. So you're going to see some of the things that you saw during conference. So it'll be a good refresh, but basically when you create your story brand is what it's called. It's really about creating your message. So how do you have a message that's super simple that you can share with people so that people will engage back with you? Because I don't know about you guys, but I just hate it when I I say something and people give me the blank stare, or they don't know what to say back to me. So it's good to have something that's professional. You don't feel like you're being pushy. I know everybody's the number one thing we hear is, I don't want to be a pushy salesperson. Well, we don't want you to be a pushy salesperson either. And so it's really about having some things that you can say or how you can engage with people so that they will listen. Okay. So really, you don't want to be ignored. And we want to make your customer is the hero. Okay. So you want to think about yourself as when you're talking to somebody and
Reagan,
I heard,
there's nothing showing now. It's black.
oh, okay.
What a bummer, huh?
Let's do this. Let's
Now
Now we
can
see that.
now. I wasn't sure
Okay.
if you were talking off your slide or not.
That's weird.
I was, this happened last time. That's okay. Okay. So tell me, can you see that?
No.
No.
Okay.
But when you get out of full screen, we see it.
Mhm.
Okay,
somehow.
hold on. It's probably because I have two screens. Hold on.
Yeah, you might have
So,
like that presenter mode or something.
I don't know. It's
There it is.
That's
That's
beautiful.
good.
Okay. All right. So I just now I can see you guys too, which is great. So the thing is we want to make our customer is the hero. And so when we're talking to somebody, and you know, you guys, I will tell you, I built my business with how are you? And really stopping to talk to somebody about like, how are they really? It's like so many people have this, like, I'm fine, how are you? Like, and I'm like, how are you? Right. And you will find a need if somebody says, oh, I'm fine. You know, it's always the Eeyore, right? Like, I'm great or whatever. It's like, oh, I don't hear you being excited, or why aren't you great today? You know, I'm fine. Why aren't you great today? Almost 100% of the time they'll say, I'm tired. The kids have been sick. My, relative had something happen to them medically. I mean, there'll be something. And so you're always listening for that need. And so you want to make your customer as the hero, and you are to become the guide, not the salesperson. Okay. So you want to stop being ignored. We want to know exactly what to say so that people can actually hear us. They listen to us. They want to know what you have as the guide to offer them. Okay. And, especially today, people are bombarded with way too much information. How many of you guys hate checking your email? Everybody? I mean, I hate it, right? I mean, it's like, oh, my husband says, I sent you that email. Did you look at it? I'm like, no, I haven't checked my email yet, because honestly, I feel like we've ruined everything. I'm getting crazy texts. I'm getting crazy emails. I'm getting spam calls. It's like, whoa, so I think we have to be very careful in knowing that when we are talking to people that we're not bombarding them with too much information. Wouldn't you agree? Okay. So guess what? Remember that you need to have your story. You guys, some of you will be happy to hear this, that your story does not matter, because who's this about? Is it about you or is it about them? Right? And so in the old days, we used to say, well, I first heard about Juice Plus from, it made sense to me because we all know the story, right? Well, we're not going to do that anymore. Okay. Because because we're going to make it about them. So when we talk to somebody, the problem is that our customers typically don't understand what we have to offer. Okay. And then if you're, a team builder, our sales team, sometimes they can't differentiate our products from maybe some of the people that we're seeing pop up now, like, some of the copycats of Juice Plus, and some of those other companies are doing a great job on social media, and people are getting it fed into them all the time, right? So we have to be on our game to make sure that we differentiate our products from the marketplace, okay? And then we also sometimes fail to connect with people with a deeper sense of meaning. So I'll give you an example. I saw a lady from my old neighborhood that I haven't seen in probably 10 years at a restaurant last weekend. And she was telling me about a friend of hers who lives in another state, and she does Juice Plus, and how she's so great. She's doing so great, which I'm like, that's great. That's great. That's great. And then I said to her, are you taking Juice Plus? And she said, no, she's never asked me. And she says, I kind of take the cheaper version. And I just said to her, oh, I'm shocked to hear that. Like, you don't want to do that. Like, I'm going to give her that sense of meaning right now. Like, You don't know what's in it. You want to make sure, I mean, she can afford it. Like, why, if you like the best, you're a woman of class, like, why are you not taking the best? And she goes, oh my goodness, you're probably right. I don't know. So, we have to be able to connect with people with a deeper sense of meaning and also to what their problem is. Okay. And then the solution is we need this little framework that's going to help us communicate clearly. And again, you guys are getting snippets of this. Okay. And we want to get traction on everything you're doing in marketing that kind of fits into this framework. Okay. So we have to remember that when we're talking to people, their brain is always trying to do a couple of things. One is survive and thrive. Okay. So that's why when you get that email, you open up your email box and it says, I don't know about you guys, but mine has like 3,000 emails and there's just so much spam. I just go, oh, my brain gets tired. And then I just don't do it and I ignore it. Right. It does not help me survive and thrive and to conserve calories. Okay. So if you're somebody who's talking to somebody and you're talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking, and you're never getting to the point, what do you think is happening to the person you're talking to brain? Especially in the world of being bombarded with all this information, right? So, we used to say, I used to hear people say, this is like even you guys 20 years ago, oh, I'm just dripping on them. And they've been dripping on them for 2 years. And then I had one of my doctors on my team say, in medical terms, dripping isn't good. And I thought it's not good here either. We don't want to be dripping on people. We want to get to the point, right? We want to help people survive and thrive, conserve calories so their brain can understand what our message is. Okay. And so we have to be super simple in our communication to help our customers do that. Okay. So I'm going to have you guys all unmute and I want to ask you guys, what would you say? What did we do? If somebody says, what do you do? What do you say?
I help
Reagan.
people simplify nutrition with their families.
Okay.
Reagan, the other day I said, just out of the blue, and even my husband was like, where did that come from later on? But it kind of worked in that situation. I said, I'm a nutraceutical rep with a company that found a way to put fruits and vegetables in a capsule based out of Memphis, Tennessee. And they were kind of like an academic type group. And so they were like, oh, really? But I had never said that before. Usually I say what Beth said. I help busy families simplify their nutrition.
Okay. Really good. Okay. Anybody give me another, somebody else give me one. What do you say? And if you're like, I don't know, tell me, I don't know.
I help people get healthier.
Okay. So I'm going to be the devil's advocate for a minute. So tell me the first one again. Who was that?
I help families simplify nutrition.
Okay. So I'm going to pick on you for a minute and you do, but I'm going to help you simplify this for a minute. How many of you guys know what she does? If you don't know that she's in Juice Plus, what did she say? Do you guys know? Are you confused? Yeah. Are you moving on to the next person? Maybe. Okay. And then the second one was closer. Say that one again.
Help people get healthier.
Okay. Does anybody know what she does? What does she do? Do you have a clear picture of what that is that she does? No. Okay. So this is the number one thing we're going to work on tonight. Okay. So let me ask you this. What does Juice Plus, what do our products do? What do all of our products do? You guys, we went for 90 minutes on this, just so you know, so don't feel bad.
They
Make
help
you feel
people
better.
simplify nutrition.
They help what?
They help simplify nutrition
Okay.
or get more fruits and vegetables into their diet.
Oh, that. Yes. Ding, 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 ding. That was the correct answer. We help people eat more plants. That's what we do, you guys. How simple is that? Right? Now, is that clear? I help people eat more plants. I do that with a company called Juice Plus. We figured out a way to put fruits and vegetables in a capsule. You can follow it up with that. But every single product that we have in this brochure, as I can see, helps people get more plants. Am I right? So that's what we do. So, there's so many people, like, we went round and round on this. And I was brainstorming with you guys did a great job. I was brainstorming as well with my team. And it was like, well, we help people thrive. We help people this, we help people that. And it's like, well, no, we do that because we help people eat more plants so that they can have those things. Okay. So look at our products. So what do we have? We have plants. We help people eat more plants. Isn't that a beautiful thing? Okay. So the story brand framework goes like this, and you guys will remember this from Donald Miller at conference, that there's always the character of the story. That's the person you're talking to who has a problem, who meets you, who is the guide, who is then able to simply give them a plan, call them into action that helps them either have success or failure. It's that simple. Okay. So if you guys have any questions, interrupt. Okay. So let's start with the character, the person you're talking to. What is it? What is their aspirational identity? What do you think that they want if they decide to eat Juice Plus with you or use any of our products? What do they aspire to? What do you think?
I would say better health.
Better health. Okay.
Feel better,
Okay.
look better.
More energy.
Okay.
Less
Lots of
pain,
food. Less what?
less pain.
Less pain. Yeah. Or inflammation. Yeah. Awesome. Okay.
I wanna
How do you
say-
think?
Maybe
Go ahead.
maybe they want to feel like they're doing the right thing, like they're meeting like
That
they're
would be good.
supposed to be doing.
Yeah, so that would be, how would they like to be perceived by others? Is that like, well, I take Juice Plus. You guys have those people, right? Like, oh, I take Juice Plus, right? Like, how will they be perceived if they eat Juice Plus by their peer groups, their family?
No, I mean, like, if they think that they're lacking, then we give them a simple solution. They're gonna feel like, oh, phew, relief, I'm doing something that's helping.
Right. So some peace of mind, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So if they're taking Juice Plus, how do you think your customer wants to be perceived by others as it relates to Juice Plus?
Smart,
Smart.
healthy,
Yeah. Healthy, health-minded. Yeah. What else?
I can tell you what they don't want.
Yes.
They don't want to be thought of like by their family, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she fell for that and spent money on that crazy company that like thinks they can put fruits and veggies in a capsule.
Yeah. So how would they ever get to that point in the first place?
I remember thinking, I don't want to invest money in this and then later come back to find out like, oh, this was just totally bogus and I wasted my money. And I think ultimately it was because I didn't understand enough about what Juice Plus was to make a good solid yes. And so it was easier to acquiesce to, oh, my husband said no, or I just don't know enough.
But you're here, so you must have had a good guide.
Sharon.
Right. So everybody has those fears, right? So, but if they do take it, basically, you guys, here's in a nutshell, they might want to feel good. I loved you guys remember the UK invasion at our conference? What was their tagline, which was genius? look good, feel good, make money, right? I mean, that was their tagline. And I thought, oh my gosh, it's so genius. So yeah, they want to feel good. They want to maybe look good. Maybe they want to be smarter than the other people, be more prepared than somebody that's not getting enough, fruits and vegetables. Maybe they want to change, a health paradigm that's happening in their family that has happened for generations. Maybe they want to be forward thinking. Maybe they want to be a better version of themselves, right? Like, so you want to know these things when you're talking to somebody, like what's their aspiration, right? Like, so how would you find out what their aspiration would be?
Ask the right questions.
Ask the right questions, right? So what you don't want to do is you don't want to like, oh, let me tell you about juice, blah, 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 we're 17, we used to do 70 fruits and vegetables. Now we're gonna have research and blah, 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 blah. I used to do that when I first started. We all do it. You want to ask more questions like, gosh, have you heard about a way to get more fruits and vegetables? How are you doing with that? Like, no, are you eating enough? Do you know what the recommendations are? What do you think would happen if you don't get enough? Like, are you sick of your kids getting sick at the beginning of every school year? Would you like to be more prepared with that? Like, why does that make sense to you? So start asking some questions and really finding out what their problem is. Okay. So there's a couple of different kinds of problems. So external is what is the problem? So if we take these two moms here, maybe it's a mom who doesn't eat very healthy compared to the one that does. And so maybe she says to you, I can't lose this weight, and I have had so many people tell me I eat terrible, I know I eat terrible and it's just, I don't know how to get out of it. Like, that's the problem, right? So asking them, how does that make you feel? Right? Are you ready to change that? If I could give you something that was easy to do that would help you kind of get on the right path, would you take a look at it? So you want to get into their problem a little bit and then letting them know, why is this just plain wrong? So let's look at these two ladies here and know that, gosh, you know what? Most of America is really this lady on the left. Is that true? I mean, really? And so why is it just plain wrong? First of all, how'd she get there? How do people get there? What makes them eat like that all the time?
Bad habits.
Yeah. What else?
Learned behavior from family.
Yeah. Oh, big one for sure.
Convenience.
Yeah, they're just super busy. They work during the day. They, need to feed their family, so they're out of energy. So they just grab something on the way home.
Busy. Number one thing for sure. Right. So, why is it just plain wrong is, well, people should have the right to be able to eat beautiful fruits and vegetables, be able to flood their body with all of this produce every single day and have vitality. Okay. But there's always the villain. What's the root cause? Well, but the villain is, I know it's just so hard because people are so busy. It's hard when you're running your kid from one practice to the other. And the only thing in between here and there is, fast food. And so there's always a villain in the problem. Am I right? So so you guys are seeing what's happening here. As I'm asking enough questions, I'm finding out, well, they have a problem, but why do they have the problem? And then, you shouldn't have to worry about eating super healthy. You should be able to have something that comes into your body every day that nourishes you every single day easily and affordably. But it's really hard because that fast food is just, it's tempting, or it's, people are busy, or it's just hard to change those behaviors or whatever. I understand, right? So there's always the villain. Okay. So let's put the problem together. So this is something you guys might want to screenshot this after I get it done. I'll let you know when. So we came up with, and again, what I don't want you to do is to feel like you have a script. Okay. Scripts are out. Please do not think that you have to have a script. This is a pattern of verbiage of you getting to the bottom of it, being able to be a guide for this person. And you can kind of amend this to whoever it is you're talking to. Okay. So, but our team, again, this is 8 weeks in the process, you guys, came up with something that was kind of general into what do we do, right? And, what we came up with was that almost every single thing we could think of that was wrong with people could be helped by them getting more fruits and vegetables. Isn't that right? I mean, think about it. Every single health concern can be solved by people getting more fruits and vegetables, pretty much. Okay. It's hard to do, right? So we came up with just a general, it's like, look, nobody eats enough fruits and vegetables. The internal problems, so I want to make it about them. You should be able to look and feel as good as you possibly can. Okay. So I'm taking the general problem into there, right? But you know what? People really shouldn't have to worry about how, they're going to get enough produce, or you shouldn't have to worry how you're going to get enough fruits and vegetables into your diet to have great health. I mean, I know it's hard because there's busy lifestyles and gosh, there's so many chemicals in our food, make it difficult really to be healthy these days. So there's the villain. Okay. So that was pretty simple, right?
Can you go back to that, Reagan?
Yeah, let me go back. I meant to do that. And then here we go. So you guys can screenshot that. We're going to add on to that, but go ahead and screenshot that. So I guess the thing here is that if you're talking to somebody about, I don't know, let's pick one, like, gosh, my kids, they don't eat anything green, right? I mean, how many times have you heard that? I mean, I'm here because of at the time, the Children's Health Study, right? The family program that we have now, right? So it's like, gosh, you know what? My kids don't eat enough fruits and vegetables, right? It's really hard as a mom to get them to eat fruits and vegetables. I'm pulling my hair out as a mom, right? And for me to have somebody say to me, nobody eats enough fruits and vegetables. You know what? You should be able to look and feel as good as you possibly can. Your kids should be able to, you should be able to get those into your kids easily. And you shouldn't really have to worry about how you're going to do that. We can give you something that tastes good, right? But we know it's hard because like who has time to cut up fruits and vegetables, right? I mean, so you guys see how you can just kind of amend this. It's just a pattern.
Reagan, what does internal mean?
It means that you're making it about them. It's their problem, right? So external is nobody eats enough fruits and vegetables, and their internal is their problem. So like the mom, if her kid, she's pulling her hair out because her kids aren't eating enough fruits and vegetables. It's like, gosh, you should be able to not pull your hair out and be able to get your kids to eat some fruits and vegetables and, take the mom guilt off. Like, you just make it about them.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then you want to have the empathy, but gosh, it's really hard in today's busy world to get these kids to eat anything good, right? No kids are eating enough produce. And it's hard because we're just so busy, right? So, I mean, you guys can see how you can just amend this. I'm just pulling this out of my.
I think we're
my
good
hat,
at
right?
doing this with the Tower Garden,
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, you know what? Nobody's eating enough fruits and vegetables, and you should be able to easily grow your own right in your backyard without ever having to worry about weeding, and people shouldn't have to worry about what chemicals are on, their produce at the store. Now, again, I'm just making this up as I go, just and they should have an abundant supply right outside their door. But it's hard to do because people hate weeding and, the other ways of growing, it's so seasonal, and we've got something that's inside or outside. It's great. So how does that make you guys feel? Do you like it?
I think it's great.
I like it.
Have I said anything about my story?
Nope.
No.
No.
And there's a place for your story, but usually not really on the front end right here. Okay. Because I've only probably been talking to this person for a couple of minutes. Okay. Okay. So again, the story brand framework was the character. Okay. Here was the mom pulling her hair out because her kids aren't eating enough fruits and vegetables. She's got mom guilt. She needs me, who has this lovely program. I give her a plan and get her started, ask her to get started on the program that results in her kids being healthier her whole school year long. And if she doesn't, then she can continue, taking them to the doctor, feeding them antibiotics, and, possibly inheriting all of those family problems, right? I mean, so you guys want to paint the failure as well. Okay. So when we give them a plan, so that's our job, is to give them a plan, to offer them a plan, to say, gosh, you know what, I have something that might be able to help you. So the plan reduces their risk in making that decision. Instead of you saying, oh, let me tell you about juice plus blah, 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 blah. And they're like looking at their watch, trying to figure out how they can, get out of there. If you've asked enough questions now that they're going to be more open to a plan. And for you to say, gosh, this really helped my family. This is something that's easy to do. And it's so simple. We just, get you get started on what you're going to take as far as the fruits and vegetables. And we give your child, free fruits and vegetables, and we can just go ahead and get your order put in, and you guys can start taking it today. I mean, it should be something so simple that it's like, boom, 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 right? When you give them a plan. So here's the thing that drives me crazy is, and I have had people on my team that have been stuck for 100 years in their same place in the marketing plan, because right here is where they fall apart. They go, okay, well, I'll get you some information and let me know. Anybody guilty of that? The let me knows. It's not, you're the guide. You can't go, okay, you guys, let me know if you find your way to the top of the hill. Like, no, you're the one you're leading them through, right? So you want to alleviate the confusion, go, here's how it works. It's super simple. This is what we do. We take your credit card, we put the order in, it ships right to your door, and you guys will be taking it in, less than a week. So you'll love it. Okay. So you want to be able to offer the plan. And again, it should be super simple and easy to understand. And I always tell my team a little story of, anybody here shop at Nordstrom or somewhere like that, where they're supposed to have really good service, right? And you find all the things that you want to try on, and you've got a special event to go to. And so, you're loaded up and you go into the dressing room, and they unlock it for you. You put it all up and you try it on, and you need a different size. And the lady is nowhere to be found. Ever. I get so mad, because then you have to take it all off. You have to get all redressed, and then you have to go out and figure out where you got that article of clothing in the first place. And then by the time half the time I leave, I just go, forget it. I can't, I don't have time for this. So it's not their job to be the one to let you know. It's your job to go, is there anything I can do to help you? Is there another size? And do you have any other questions? Can I put that at the register for you? That's a buying question, right? So we love that when people take care of us, we should be taking care of people. Okay. So your customer is the hero, not you. So again, you want to make it all about them, not your story. You don't need to tell them about every great thing that's ever happened to you with Juice Plus, just that you have something that is fantastic for them. Okay. And again, heroes don't take action on their own. They have to be asked, and we have to ask them to take action in a manner that's super clear. Okay. So let me ask you guys this. How do you guys ask for people to take action? What do you say?
How can I help you order?
Go ahead, Beth. Say one more time.
Sorry, can't get off mute. I would just say something like, how can I help you get your order started or something?
Okay. Good. Who else?
Can I help you get your order in? Or sometimes I've said, hey, I'm putting in some orders today and would love to help you get started. Is there anything else you need from me?
That's great. What else? Who here gets apologetic and doesn't ask for something? Who here has said, don't feel obligated? Any of you guys out there?
I've actually said that too. Don't feel, this is no pressure.
Stop doing that. They didn't feel pressure. You just been the guide, like, you
I'll
know,
drop it.
they're gonna,
Yeah, I'm
you let them
dropping
say
it.
that afterwards, right? Like that's if somebody says that to me, I won't order from them. Just so you know.
So I like to
Because-
say, I recommend and tell them exactly what I think they should get started on. And
And
then
then,
see what they say.
okay, but you recommend it, but did you say, what do you say after that?
Well, I mean, I'm sure I say sentences like, well, sometimes I'll be like, well, what I recommend is the fruits, vegetables, berries for sure. And I love the other things, especially the shake I'll do once or twice a day. And then I might even tell them about a couple other things, but I'll say, you know, what would you like to do? Or, you know, I might say, if I see that they might not want to afford all that, I could say you could get started on one or the other, but maybe I don't really ask. Who knows?
Okay,
Can't remember, but
if you don't really ask, are you guys confused if she keeps giving you too many options?
yes.
Yeah. So options can come a little bit later. And so so if I give you guys a simple thing to say, will you say it? Okay. Let's
Yeah.
get you started. Let's get you started. Just say it. Let's get you started. You've already told them all about it. It's a great program. Let's get you started. So I played golf and I don't always play with the 18 holes. So I played with the 18 holes one day. I had a terrible day of golf, but whatever. Anyway, so afterwards I was taking my clubs to the car and one of the ladies that I had played with was there and I was giving her a ride back in the cart to go back in and have lunch. And she was, now what do you do? And I said, oh, I help people eat more plants. And she goes, how do you do that? I go, well, you know, I work with a company called Juice Plus, and we figured out a way to put fruits and vegetables in a capsule. She goes, oh, I used to take Juice Plus. And I said, what do you mean used to? And she said, well, you know, it's kind of like one of those things, you just kind of do it for a while. And I go, oh my gosh, like, I don't know. I really think everybody is not getting enough fruits and vegetables and nobody should struggle with that. But let's get you started. I just went right there and she goes, okay. And she pulled out her credit card. And I was like, literally it was 15 seconds. And she's so excited to get started on Juice Plus again. I'm like, why? And I didn't need to go through a bunch of stuff with her because she already knew about Juice Plus. And she had also told me some of her stuff that she had going on when we were playing golf. So I kind of shortened that a little bit because there was a little bit of investigation beforehand, but I said, let's get you started. She's like, okay. So you'll be surprised. Now, if you say, let's get you started and somebody hesitates here, what will you say? If they say, I don't know, what can you say?
That's usually when I say, oh, no pressure. But I'm dropping that.
Yeah.
I'm leaving that out.
First of all,
Yeah.
nobody feels pressure. Nobody's feeling pressure. Everybody knows it's their decision, but you can just say, may I ask why? Say, may I ask why? Well, 9 times out of 10, I just bought all these vitamins from Costco. Okay, well, you know what? When do you think you'll be done with those? You know, would you like me to kind of keep you on my list and I can reach back out to you in 2 months or whatever? So I'm putting people in the funnel, right? So I'm just assuming, of course, that they're going to want to be getting more fruits and vegetables in their body. Why wouldn't they? We have the most medically researched nutritional product in the world, and they're not going to be able to get it anywhere else. So they got to get it from somebody. They're going to get it from me if I'm talking to them, right? So, and it may be that they need to think about it, and that's okay too, but I'm going to then set up a time that I can reach back out to them. Okay. So what I'm saying to you, when you say that, those words that you just said, like, don't feel pressure, you're hiding the cash register. Okay. Or when you say, let me know if you're interested, don't hide the cash register. Okay. People don't take action unless you ask them. And there's never let me know. And again, you may need to continue that date before they say yes. And you guys, it took me a year to say yes. And I was the worst person you ever had at your wellness event ever. I can guarantee you that. I didn't want to be there. I kind of got tricked into going, but I also, that somebody tuned into my problem, and I was heavy into some competitive cycling. And I knew the only reason I was getting beat by some of the girls was I knew they had better nutrition than me. I knew that. And so, you know, I went to this event. And so, you know, don't give up on people. people kept saying, hey, can you come to this one now? I can't, no, I don't want to, I can't come. And then finally I said, okay, just so you'll stop asking me, I'll go. And that's where I said yes, and 2 years later was the national marketing director. So you just never know. Okay. So you don't want to be offended. I mean, people have their own problems or their own previous. I had 7 other network marketing experiences before Juice Plus. Okay. 7, you guys, 7. I did Amway for 5 years. I did all the skincare stuff. I did Melaleuca for 1 day. I was so allergic to it, I had to go to the hospital. I mean, I could tell you funny story after funny story. But so I was not looking for another one, but somebody kept asking me and they understood my problem. And I finally said yes. So here you go. Okay. So when you ask somebody to get started, you also want to reiterate the stakes. Okay. So let's get you started so that we go back to maybe it's this woman, so that you can really get control of your health and your, you can start getting all of the good things that make your cholesterol better and you'll start craving fruits and vegetables. You'll start eating healthier, which is really going to help you, accomplish your health goals that you are looking for. Or, I know you said you've tried a lot of other things that haven't worked. Did you really want to stay where you are? And, didn't you say also that, everybody in your family has gone through having heart disease and heart attacks and stuff? Do you really want to do that? So don't be afraid to kind of paint some stakes. So you want to know, what are the good stakes of Juice Plus? Well, guess what? What are our good stakes? Where do we find our good stakes, you guys? Do we make them up? This is the easy question. Where do we find
The tools we have?
Our stories.
And the
Research.
conversations that we have.
Research.
Our research. We know what happens in people's bodies that eat Juice Plus, right? Like your DNA is going to repair better. Your circulation is going to be better. You're going to have less adipose fat. You can go through all of the things that relate to that person and say, I'm so excited for you because these are the top published studies and we know this is going to happen if you actually eat Juice Plus every day. Okay. So people are motivated by 2 things, doing something good or avoiding something bad. Okay. Most people want to avoid something bad. So a lot of people are like, oh, I don't feel comfortable doing the bad steaks. Well, I will tell you, you should make sure you do that because, this mom that's pulling her, her hair out, his kids aren't eating enough fruits and vegetables. Gosh, look what's happening to the health of our children. They're growing up in the most toxic food environment in the history of mankind. And you have the opportunity to change the metabolic programming of your child and have them you're getting all these fruits and vegetables in their body every single day so that, they're not getting all the colds and flus like everybody else is getting. They're not going down those paths of, maybe we avoid that 17-year-old that's getting breast cancer. So you want to go ahead and show them both roads because they will be more motivated by this than sometimes doing the good. Okay. Does that make sense? Okay. We want to help them avoid failure. That's why we want to do the stakes. What will they lose if they don't take action getting started with Juice Plus? They're going to continue on the same path that they did before. They're going to still be exposed to the same risks. They're still going to be frustrated. Their kids are still going to be, fighting with them about eating the right things, right? But you don't want to scare them too much. So Donald Miller has a really great analogy. He says, when you're doing the stakes on the good, you want to give them a cup of sugar. And on the bad, you want to just give them a pinch of salt. Okay. So you don't want to go on and on and on about the bad, just like, you don't want to go down that path. On the other hand, you're going to get the benefits of all of what we know happens. And here are some of the things from our research that relate to what you told me in the beginning of our conversation. Okay. So again, also, what are the negative consequences if they don't, do business with you? So we just talked about that. So it always ends in success. So, you want to describe with them, what their lives could look like if they use our products or mission. So this might be a good place for you to tell your story and to say to them, gosh, you know what, we've had a lot of, moms who their kids are telling me that their kids won't even eat any fast food anymore. Or we've had, my friend Holly, she lost 100 pounds on our shred program. And, my kids my kids, I never went to the doctor again, that they needed antibiotics, and they're in their 30s now. So, you can, this is a place where you can add a little bit of some of that, or gosh, you know what? It made so much sense to me that I ended up sharing it with all of my community and my girlfriends. They all joined me. We completely changed our school lunch program, and they're all national marketing directors with us too. So, which is true, that's what happened. So there you go. Okay. So communicate through words, images that convey the solution to their problems. Okay. So what do they want? They want health and vitality. Maybe they're athletes. They want better performance, right? You guys know all of this, the healthy hair, skin, nails, all they want to look good. Maybe they want more energy. Maybe they don't want to worry about what their kids are eating when they're not at their house, right? Maybe they need an extra bit of money so they don't have to go back to work or ask their husband for extra money, or maybe they like to just do what they want to do when they want to do it. Maybe they're looking for a community, somebody that they can hang out with that thinks like them, that they can feel like they have meaning and purpose. I mean, there's all kinds of great things, right, about what we do. So again, here's the story, Brandon. If you guys remember from our conference, he used Star Wars, and he says, here was Luke, and his external problem is he had to defeat the Empire, right? The internal problem was he a Jedi that could do that, right? His philosophical was, what was he going to be? Was he going to be good, or was he going to be the evil, right? Which one? And he met Yoda, who was his guide. And he said, trust the Force, Luke, and go defeat the Empire. And then you'll be able to defeat the rebellion. Or if you don't follow the Force, the rebellion is going, you're going to get crushed, right? Right. So there you go. So again, you're the guide. Nobody eats enough fruits and vegetables. You should be able to look as good and feel as great as you possibly can. You shouldn't have to worry about how you're going to get all that produce into your body every day. But it's hard because it's, people are busy, and there's all kinds of crazy chemicals in our food, makes it hard. And guess what? Juice Plus is easy and affordable. Let's get you started today. What do you think is going to happen to your health over time if you don't get enough fruits and vegetables on a daily basis, right? On the other hand, you're going to have all of these great things happen. You're going to have great health. You're going to have more energy. You're going to have, a better chance of a longer, healthier life when you flood your body with concentrated fruits and veggies and Juice Plus. Okay, so there's your 7 steps. If you guys want to screenshot that, you can. And then Sharon, let me know when I can. Whoops.
Reagan,
Yeah.
you remember at conference, he was like talking to somebody at a party, and he asked, what do you do, or something, and he described a problem to then describe what he does. Does that fit in here, or?
Yeah, so this would be the same, so if you're talking to somebody and I don't know, I just gave you like a problem, like with as an example, the mom that's pulling her hair out because her kids aren't eating enough, right? I think one of the examples he uses a lot is the chef. And
that's what
I think that, and the lady was saying, we don't even sit at the table together anymore. I'm so busy, we eat out all the time. And he said, well, guess what? I'm an executive chef who actually will come to your house and prepare you healthy meals so that your family can sit at the table and enjoy dinner without you having to cook.
So knowing what the problem is, he just caters it to the problem. No pun intended.
Caters it right into this. And then he goes, you should be able to sit down and have dinner with your family every night and be able to connect and hear about each other's day and all of that. And, people really shouldn't have to, in today's world, it's hard. People shouldn't have to worry about, how they're going to be able to feed their family healthy food in their home. Right. But, I understand it's so busy. He did the same thing, basically. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then he said, why don't I come over and cook a meal for you? And then, if you like it, we'll get you started with the program. And he said, or you can, continue to eat that unhealthy food and not connect with your family. And that's really hard. or you can really eat really yummy, healthy food that I'll come in and make for you, and you're going to connect with your family, and you're going to have a great, a great evening, and get to hear what your kids, did at school that day, or what the best part of the day was. So that's basically what he does. Same thing.
Great. Yeah, he outlined the plan. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Same
So
thing.
you guys ask Reagan a scenario.
So here's something you guys can use. It's just, you guys want to print this out. By the way, if you go to businessmadesimple.com, that's the website. There's also a free place where you can click on, and you can actually develop your own brand script where you could type in what you would say. And I highly recommend it. But here's a little bit, if you're a visual, I'm a visual learner, so I like to kind of have the pictures in my head when I'm talking to somebody, that I don't go, okay, now what was next, right?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. So I'm going to stop my share. And I'd love for you guys to tell me
Hey,
what you
Reagan,
thought, what you learned.
I have a perfect example. Kind of the conversation went flat this morning. So I would love maybe an idea of a next step and how do I incorporate this with her. But she's somebody I met at a booth at a fair a couple of weeks ago. I sent her some videos. She had said she wanted them. I never heard back. Like, she never answered any of the text messages I had sent, invited to a couple of events. And then I decided to go back and see if I could find any of those people on Facebook. And I had found her and sent her a friend request. So this morning she just said, "Hi, Stacy, good morning." And I said, "Good morning." But I was even thinking, like, who is this? I didn't remember who she was. And she said, "I'm just too busy all the time. LOL. Can you just send me prices and what you have to sell, as in what's healthiest for me and my kids?" And I said, "Sure thing. What are you most interested in?" I suggest the capsules, which is the trio capsule, 30 fruits and vegetables.
Stop. Okay. Why do you think that you are, I just want you to step back for a minute. Why do you think you're losing her?
Well, I knew not to go with prices like on this text message, but I also felt like she wasn't answering any of the.
Yeah. So
The
the problem here is the text message was where it went off track. I don't text anybody. The only reason I use text is to set an appointment to find out what they need, and I can talk to them live. I mean, it's so easy to say no to a text, and nobody can hear your excitement. It takes too long. I don't have time to go back and forth like that. You know what I mean?
Right. And that is typically what I say, but I thought, well, she said I'm too busy to ever answer. So I just thought I'd kind of go with it. I asked her how many kids she had. Are you looking for an easy meal replacement and a shake? Kind of told her what the complete was. She gave me the answer for her kids' ages. The kids literally don't eat enough, don't eat healthy. My little boys, not so much, and me either. I don't really.
Okay.
Yeah. And she said, and I don't really need a meal replacement. I eat a lot, or maybe I should say I like the plant foods. So it's like, she said she doesn't eat healthy, but then she said she did. So that was kind of, so I said, okay, cool. So you're looking for an easy way to get more plants into your diet and to the littles, correct? And she said, yes, veggies, fruits, and greens. And I said, any particular health issues? No. So then I gave her prices, day and month,
Great.
and what I recommended. And then
what happened?
she said, okay, I'm going to do a little research and I'll let you know. So I knew she had not watched any of the videos because she had said, I'm too busy. So I said, okay, that sounds great. Here's a short video that explains more. And here's another one. And then I kind of went through as far as prices go. Think of it, if I sent you to the grocery store, blah, 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 all of that. And then I just kind of told.
I think your verbiage and everything was absolutely fantastic. Great job, by the way. The problem is that one is that it was very time consuming for you to go back and forth on the text. And the second thing is that I would have probably come back to her and said, oh, I totally what was her objection? I'm busy. I so understand being busy. And so we can save time. Would you have, 5 to 8 minutes that I could just chat with you quickly on the phone, we'd probably get a lot more done.
Yeah, and I have tried with a couple of people that I met there, and I'll ask them, can we chat on the phone for just a couple minutes? I want to really make sure I quote you on what your family needs or what's best for you.
Right.
And I'm
Perfect.
still kind of not getting an answer back. So then I was like, well, I don't want to lose her. But I think I can
Yeah.
circle back and show the like you're saying, like how this solves the problem of the worry of a mom whose kids don't eat enough. And I'll circle back again. I invited her to.
Yeah, I think that's her hot button for sure. Yeah. And I would just say something like, gosh, it sounds like you're really worried about your kids getting enough, and valid reasons. People shouldn't have to worry. You could take the same format and put it in your text, right? And it would probably be easier if we could just hop on the phone live. If you really want to solve this problem, it'd be great if we could just hop on the phone live and quickly I could really guide you into what would be best for you and your kids.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
So yeah, I think the other thing on a tip on a booth, you guys, is if you have somebody who's really interested like that, make an appointment with them right there. Like, hey, let's chat. Hey, next Tuesday, how about if I give you a call at 9? Like, and they're not always there because it's a booth. It's just the nature of the world today. But if you can, try to set the appointment. That way you're not playing chase.
Yeah, I'm surprised she got as much as she did from a
I know. I'm
full
thinking that's
market
great.
lead. Yeah, the
I
other
think you
thing I
can totally
do,
get her.
Reagan,
I think
sometimes
you can help her.
if I know people want to order, but they don't really want to take much time, I just say, go ahead and send me your name, address, phone number. I'll call you really quick for your credit card. And that way, I mean, it's not taking the time for a huge conversation, but it's getting it done for them. So they just send everything except for the credit card. I'm like, I'll call you. And yeah, it's good. Anyway, all right. So Reagan, thank you so much. I know we
Welcome. You guys are awesome.
Don't you just love the way she talks? You guys.
Great. She was raving about you when she got back from Denver.
I
I knew this was going to be good.
I'm kind of like the straight shooter girl. It's just the way it is. And my number one pet, I don't like anybody wasting my time. It's like, don't waste my, either you're interested in it today or you're not. And this is an easy decision, right? Like either you want to have fruits and vegetables or you don't, so I do feel like a lot of people in today's world are so worried about what everybody thinks about them that we talk in circles and we never get to the point. And I think when he goes back to you confuse or you lose, that's why we're confusing people. And I think we've got to be loud and proud about what we do. We help people get more plants, and we are the most medically researched nutritional product in the world. We should be loud and proud about it. And when we invite people to events, instead of hiding behind this little special thing over here, come hear about Juice Plus. You've got to hear about it. We have an awesome program for your kids. We're going to do a little brunch at my house on 10 o'clock in the morning and on Tuesday and Thursday, which one works? Just come, And I think you guys find that you'll shortcut your way right to the top if you do that. And you guys were all amazing. And Stacey, you did a great job with that. I hope you can get her. I hope you can get her off the text. And if you get her off the text, I think she's going to be a juice pluser for you.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Reagan. You guys can unmute, tell her thanks as we go.
Excellent. Thanks, Reagan.
Reagan.
That was awesome.
See you in
Thank you,
Atlanta.
Reagan. So
Very
great.
informative. Thank you so much.
Yet another person that you guys will know in Atlanta. Thank you, Reagan. Woo! All right. Good night, guys.
All right. Good night, everybody.